Hi all, welcome to today's tutorial. In this section we will be discussing on relational databases and its related terminologies. What is a database? A database is an organized collection of interrelated data stored together to serve multiple applications. The software used to manage these databases are known as Database Management System or in short DBMS. What are the purposes of a DBMS? Or in terms we can say what are the advantages of DBMS? A database system reduces data redundancy. What is data redundancy? That is duplication of data. Thereby it controls data inconsistency. It also facilitates sharing of data and enforces certain standards. It ensures security and thereby maintains integrity. What do you understand by the term database model? It describes how the data is organized or stored in a database. And there are mainly four types of database models. They are relational database model, network database model, hierarchical database model, and object-oriented database model. And among these, the most popular database model is relational database model, and it was propounded by E.F. Code. And in this coming sections, we will be discussing related to relational database model. In a relational database model, the data is organized into tables, that is, as a combination of rows and columns. The software used to manage these relational databases are called RDBMS or Relational Database Management System, and examples of RDBMS include Oracle, MySQL, MS Access, PostgreSQL, SQLite, Microsoft SQL Server, etc. Among these, MySQL, PostgreSQL, SQLite are open source relational database management systems. What are the commonly used relational model terminologies? First one is relation. Data are arranged in rows and columns, and it is known as relation or table. Relation is the other name for table. Tuple. A row in a table is called a tuple or a record or an entity. It contains the contents of all the fields. Attribute. An attribute is a column in the table. The other name of attribute is called field. It contains only one type of information. Domain. A domain is a pool of values from which the actual values appearing in a given column are drawn. Another terminology is view. It's a virtual table that does not exist in its own but derived from one or more underlying base tables. We can see an example of a relation. This is a relation, or in term we can call it as a table. And you can see this roll number highlighted, that is the attribute or a field. Other attributes in this table are student name, age, and class. Each column or the attribute contains only one type of information. You can see the row or the horizontal record highlighted, that is called the tuple or a record. It contains information related to all the columns. That means it contains a complete unit of information. Degree and cardinality. What do you understand by the term degree and cardinality? Degree means the number of columns or attributes in a table or a relation, whereas cardinality refers to the number of records in a table. To understand the concept of degree and cardinality, we will consider this table student as an example. You can see a table student with the following columns or the fields: STID, name, F name, DOP, city and class, where the records are inserted. So what could be the degree and cardinality of this table? So what is degree? Degree means the number of columns in a table. So how many columns are there in this table? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So there are 6 columns in a table. So what is degree? Degree is equal to 6. And what do you understand by the term cardinality? It means number of records in a table. How many records are there in this table, student? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the cardinality of the table student is equal to 5. While mentioning the cardinality, don't count the column headings. That is not considered as a record. Kindly note that point. Now we will understand the concept of keys. There are mainly 4 types of keys we will be discussing in a relational database. First one is primary key. A set of one or more attributes that can uniquely identify a record in a table is called a primary key. A candidate key is a set of attributes that can be used as a primary key, and they are the candidate to the position primary key. When a primary key is considered, the 2 points we have to consider is that it should be unique. The values of that particular column should be unique and it should not contain any null values. So what is a candidate key? It's a group of columns which can be used as a primary key. That means these are the candidate to the primary key position. Alternate key. A candidate key that is not the primary key is called alternate key. They were the candidate key, but they cannot become the primary key, and the remaining candidate keys are called the alternate key. Foreign key. A known key attribute whose values are derived from the primary key of some other table is called the foreign key in its current table. To understand the concept of keys, that is primary key, candidate key, alternate key and foreign key, we will consider 2 tables, student and parent. In the table student, there are 4 columns like SID, SNAME, class and PID. And parent column has 3 columns: PID, PNAME and location. So what could be the key? In each table we will just look into in detail. The primary key of the table student is SID. You can see that is the unique key that can be used most appropriately when, even though the SNAME is a candidate key, that means there is no duplicate. You can see this SID has no duplicate. SNAME also the values are not duplicated. Duplicate means there is no replication of the values. Class but 8 is repeated here. H1, 2, 3 is replicated. So these 2 columns cannot be considered as the candidate key for the student. So the 2 candidate key for the student table is SID and SNAME. Among that, the most suitable one to become the primary key is SID. So you can see in the table SID is the primary key, whereas the candidate key are SID and SNAME. But From the candidate key, SID is the most appropriate to become the primary key, and the remaining candidate key, that is the S name, that will become the alternate key. When coming to the foreign key is, what is the definition for foreign key? It should be a non-key attribute which is the primary key of some other table. So PID, that is a primary key of parent table, and it when coming to the student table, it acts as the foreign key. So under the student table, we can mention foreign key is PID. When coming to the parent table, you can see the candidate key for the parent table is PID, PName, and location, because all the values are not, there is no duplicate for any of the columns. So all three becomes the candidate key. Among that, the most suitable to become this parent or table primary key is PID. And hence PID become the primary key for the parent table, and the remaining two candidate keys, that is PName and location, become the alternate key. There is no foreign key for the table parent. What do you understand by the term referential integrity? A referential integrity is a system of rules that a DBMS uses to ensure that the relationship between the records in a related table are valid, and that users don't accidentally delete or change the related data. It is mainly used for linking the tables. When can we set referential integrity? We can set the referential integrity if the matching field from the primary table is a primary key or has a unique index. If the related fields have the same data type, or both the tables belong to the same database, and if they are linked, they must be of the same DBMS format. If they are of different DBMS format, we cannot set referential integrity. What are the rules to be observed when a referential integrity is enforced? A value can't be entered in the foreign key field of the related table that does not exist in the primary key of the primary table. A record cannot be deleted from a primary table if the matching records exist in a related table. A primary key value in the primary table can't be changed if that record has related records. At last, what is SQL? SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It is a language used to manipulate and manage databases and tables within them using an RDBMS. What are the classification of SQL commands? SQL commands are classified mainly into four. They are DDL commands, that is DDL stands for Data Definition Language. These are the commands used to create, destroy or restructure databases and tables. Examples for DDL commands are create, drop, alter, table, etc. Second SQL command is DML commands. It stands for Data Manipulation Language commands. All the commands that are used to manipulate the data within the tables are called DML commands, and examples are insert, update, delete, select, etc. Next one is DCL commands. It stands for Data Control Language. All the commands which are used to control the access to databases and tables are called DCL commands, and examples are grant and revoke. TCL commands are the control commands that allow to manage and control transactions. TCL stands for Transaction Control Language, and examples for TCL commands are commit, rollback, and save point. Thank you all. See you in the next section.